Hey, greetings. My name is Coach Mark, and as a educational consultant, motivational speaker, as well as transformational coach, I know the power of learning and sharing those learned experiences with others. I recently had the opportunity to travel to South Africa, Johannesburg, and Cape Town. And here are the top 10 things that I learned on my vacation.
So here's number 6 of the things that I learned while vacationing in South Africa. So most people ask me, how long was the trip? So it was a 15-hour journey to South Africa. And on the flight, I decided what I was going to do was I was going to watch TV for a few hours, then go to sleep and sleep through the night. And then when I wake up, it'll be morning, have a little breakfast, and then I'll be ready and in the time frame to move forward in South Africa. Okay, so I ran across the movie Gandhi, and I've heard of Gandhi and so forth, and heard some of his teachings, but I really didn't know his life. And so it's a 3-hour movie. So it was appropriate to watch to start my journey to South Africa. And what I learned in that time, and then when I went to South Africa, it solidified everything that I saw in the movie. So Gandhi was a lawyer, from India. He studied law in London, and then he went to South Africa for a year contract. During his time in South Africa, he was actually thrown off the train because he was colored, and there goes that classism again. So it stirred something up inside of him, and he decided to stay in South Africa for many years and fight for the rights of Indians in South Africa. This was around 1893. This was a long time ago. So if you think about what was happening in the States in 1893, slavery had been abolished during that time, of years before. It had just kind of, the word had gotten down into Texas, and you had the people finally getting out of Texas and developing communities in North Texas and so forth in 1893. And you had a lot of people moving from slavery from the South and other areas, moving into to places like Nashville and South Carolina and some of these other places, and becoming sharecroppers, all of those different types of things. But Gandhi was fighting for the rights of Indians in South Africa. Now, he was there in the struggle for many years, was arrested and so forth for his fight. But after years of mass civil disobedience, and this was all nonviolent, he negotiated a compromise agreement with the South African government for those Indians living in South Africa. From there, he decided to go back to India and began to work for the rights of Indians in India who were being mistreated and so forth by the British. So he began to fight for freedom. Again, we know his whole thing was nonviolence, and he would lead that. Now, he was thrown in prison many times, but his following was so massive that he was released every time because of that. And his philosophy just of nonviolence just was perpetrated and spread abroad. It became nationally known and so forth. And I think learning about him and just what he did and his many times that he was put in prisons, placed in prison, not only in South Africa, but also in India, and his just pursuit, him dedicating his life for not only Indians, but I think when I began to study that he really believed in this unified belief that everyone could serve their God and not be relegated to one area. So it was not that his philosophy and his religious practices was only that what he was fighting for, but it was for everyone. And so he continued this fight. And what I learned more so is I think the connection between how Martin Luther King was so influenced by the work that he did, and just to see the parallel experience that MLK had along with Gandhi, and just the fights, the struggles, the multiple times being put in prison, the huge following that while even in prison, the government had to release them because there were so many people that was following that they couldn't deal with all the masses of that and so forth. So just to see the dual natures, different time periods, different experiences, not different experiences, but different time periods, but the same struggle, and just how it manifested in both of these great men's lives, and how Martin Luther King was so impacted and influenced by Gandhi and his philosophies. So that was eye-opening for me.